like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, we go strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along.
Welcome back, y'all.
Hey.
We are here for episode 9. That's crazy.
Isn't that?
That's crazy.
Maybe we should have a celebration when we hit 10.
Yeah, we got an eventful weekend this weekend. We got 2 birthdays. And
Don't sound so excited about it.
I'm looking forward to Georgia versus Ole Miss. So that's one of the biggest games of the year. This pretty much determines our season, I would say. If we lose, I think we still could go to the playoffs if we win the SEC championship and beat Tennessee and Alabama, because Alabama will probably be in the SEC championship, whatever. So this topic's going to be just an audio clip again about friendship, and just kind of what our looks and ideas of a friendship is, and
Some advice
and what we think influences friendships and stuff like that. So the number one topic I think that's kind of just destroying, even when you get into relationships, is social media.
For sure.
I think social media has just put a damper on how people view each other and how people look at each other, and it makes others just take a step back and say, well, I wonder what, can I post this because I wonder what someone else is going to say.
And I also feel like it puts up expectations, like outlandish expectations as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's unreachable expectations, like something that's like not even like gonna happen.
I used to be guilty of that. I don't care now, but I used to, when we were in high school and stuff like that, I used to be guilty of it. Like, you post a picture and you're like, oh my god, I hit 305 likes. And you thought you were the coolest person in the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, I could care less now. I mean, if I get 1 like or 2 likes, whatever. Obviously, I want people to like our podcast and, respond to us.
He checks the likes, people.
I want people to support us, yeah, but that's not why I'm chasing likes, So social media influences on friendships, I think it's destroying friendships. I think it's destroying relationships, especially. I think a lot of people get themselves, I would say especially guys, get themselves in trouble with their significant other for liking photos of girls that their significant other sees or sees on their phone, and it starts conflict, and then you get into like hating each other, and like you're scared to like open your phone around them, and then you're turning your phone over on the dinner table, you're leaving your phone plugged up in the room while you guys are outside watching TV, or just stuff like that. I think it's really.
Do you think that's cheating? Like, do you think that's considered
I don't think it's
cheating?
cheating. I mean, I don't think it's cheating, no, but like, obviously, if a guy's going and liking a girl's photo in a bikini or something, I would be like, dude, that's a little weird. But like, I don't know. Like, everybody has friends and stuff, but I wouldn't say that's a cheating.
No, I wouldn't either.
If he liked a photo, if she or he liked one of somebody's photos, and then texted him and say, "Hey, what's up?" Something like that.
That's cheating.
That's absolutely.
I think it in a way it can be disrespectful, especially if it's like a very provocative photo, and like you're in a relationship and your significant other like goes and likes that photo, like a beach picture with bums out, I think that's a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, hot dogs. Hot dogs are legs. That's funny.
That was funny.
So I guess a question I you're a lot more involved on Instagram. Like Instagram's a liking photo. I don't really get on it. I get on Instagram every now and then, but I don't really like sit on Instagram, if that makes sense. But why do you think so many people like get involved with like liking the photos and causing that conflict? Why do you think that happens?
Um, I think it's one of two things. It's either like an unconscious thing, like you're just like scroll, you know what I mean? But I think but you are like still consciously like liking a photo. I think maybe it's like you like what you see, you're liking it, and I think that's part of the argument that people have with their significant other. They're like, "Oh, well, you're liking what you see, you're liking the photo." That kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never ran into that, so I don't really know.
I've never ran into that either, so I don't know either. But I've known some people that have ran into that photos or the liking photos, and their partner, sending them screenshots and
like, why are you liking this?
Why are you liking this photo? Like, you don't like that's unacceptable and stuff like that. But I guess to veer off, it's still kind of on that topic, but to veer off, why do you think the people like get involved? Like other people try to get involved in other people's like friendships and relationships. Like is it because they're unhappy in theirs, or they're unhappy in their relationship, or they have friends that they don't necessarily like and they want new friends, so they try to damage that friendship? Or is it
I think maybe the majority of people that happens to is like they're not happy in their relationship,
yeah,
or their lack of relationship, like
yeah,
if they're not in one or whatever. I feel like they feel like they need to get involved,
mm-hmm,
or maybe it's a protective thing. I'm not really sure.
yeah, I agree with that. I think my number one answer to that would be just being jealous and protective. And you can be jealous in a relationship and friendships. You can't, but there's an extent,
Yeah.
There's an extent to being jealous. I think there's overboard situations.
Like when you walk out of the house and you look really good and you're getting in your nice truck, I'm like a little jealous that you're out and about without me.
Yeah, but
No, I'm
walking on
kidding.
job sites with a bunch of men with hard hats on.
Yeah, but they're still looking at you in your camo shirt and they're like, damn, that's a nice truck. Yeah. Look at his camo shirt too.
Well, speaking of that, I go onto a job site today.
Oh yeah, this is pretty funny.
And I'm talking to this customer, and granted, I'm a sales rep for a company, and I go out and try to rent and sell equipment, mostly rent. We're a rental company, so I try to rent my equipment to contractors to help them succeed in their job. And this guy has just been just a pain in the butt. I mean, I've tried to rent to him. He's always got another competition pump out there, and every time I go to him, he's like, "Yeah, Zach, I'll get you next time." And then I go to another job, and he's got this same guy out there, and and I finally got a pump on rent with him 2 weeks ago, and he told me I'm never rent from anybody else. So that was a good thing, and I went out there this morning actually to, it's been you go and talk to these guys every week and a half, 2 weeks, just so you're present. You don't want to just say, "Here's the pump. I'll see you again. Call me when it's done."
Oh, like car salesman.
Yeah. Like
here's the car. See you later. Don't ever talk to me again.
And I went there this morning, just check on him, and he was like, "Zach's system's running awesome," and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad to hear that." And like, dude, I will always be there. I'll always answer my phone. You call me at 3 a.m., I'll answer. It doesn't matter. You need help, I'm here. And he's like, man, I respect that so much, blah, blah, blah. So then we just start talking about trucks. He's like, man, your truck's beautiful. You know, I actually like it sitting on my job site. Like, you know, some other people, I don't want that crap on my site. And he was like,
Rusty old pickup.
we started talking about like bed covers and lift kits and all that stuff.
Ranch hands.
Toolboxes. And
all the fixings.
I was like, yeah, right now, you know, all my tools for all my stuff are under my seat in the back seat. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I had a F-150 in the toolbox. I sold it. I shouldn't have sold it, but you do things you know, regret sometimes. And he was like, oh man, don't worry about that. I got it's pretty used. I've had it for like 3 years, but I'll give it to you if you want it. And I was like, give it to me now. Let me give you like, you know, $200 or $150 for it or something, 300, whatever.
Yeah, what are you asking?
I wasn't going to give him 300, but I said 100, 150 because they retail $650, $700 for a nice toolbox.
Brand new one?
Yeah. And he was like, no, give me 5 minutes. And I said, okay. He opens the toolbox and starts pulling all his tools out. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, dude, give me 5 minutes. And he unbolts all the bolts, the J-hooks and all that stuff. And he puts all the tools in his back seat, shuts the door. And he said, here. I said, what? And he goes, take it. I said, dude, I appreciate it so much. And he was like, yeah, no problem, man. I said, so does that mean like you're going to rent this pump from me and then be done with me because you gave me a toolbox? And he was like, no. We started laughing about it, but we're actually probably going to go to lunch next week. But
oh, good.
So yeah, that's a little
buy him lunch for the toolbox.
Little story, but yeah. So back to our topic about friendships. I just thought that was cool. That's building. That's
friendships.
Yeah, that's
building
relationships. So this kind of goes on to another topic as far as like a subtopic that I got told on a job site by a contract. He likes me, but he was telling me that there was a sales rep from another company that was younger, and he was on the heavy equipment side. I'm on the pump side of a different company, and he was out there like a month ago, and I talked to him, this customer, and he was just talking about our generation, and he was like, dude, your generation's just a bunch of like weenies. Like, you got your age, your group of people, like from 30 years old and under, you guys just act like you're, you know, entitled, and you just, I see all these kids on Facebook that, you know, they're in another country one week, and then they go to upstate New York for the weekend, then they go down to Costa Rica, then they go to Texas, then they go to Cali. It's like, I don't know what these kids do, because I certainly don't live that lifestyle. And I've worked, you know, I'm 65 years old. I'm going to work till I'm 70, and I make great money, but how do you guys afford those trips and those all these things you do? And he was like, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. I try to go on vacations, but you know, you can't do it every weekend. And he was like, yeah, well, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about these kids on Facebook. I was laughing, but he was like, I know the answer for you. Your generation's weak. You guys still live with your parents. You guys still don't even pay a rent. You guys still don't even work. You go into work for 15 hours a week, and then you go in your parents' basement and eat their food. It's like, what are we doing, you know? And I think our country is going to start to hurt once our generation gets to the older people. So
in leadership positions, especially.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think because I've seen these like Facebook vacations as well, and I think
honeymoons are different.
Yeah, honeymoons are different, or baby moons. And I think a lot of it is they're taking credit cards out, and which is going to hurt them later. Think about it. They're going to be in all this debt when they're 30, when they're supposed to be like already having a house, having kids, married. Like, they're going to be in, like, debt up to their ears because they decided to go to the Bahamas every other month.
Every other month, every other week.
Every other week, sorry.
Yeah.
I have a question. You wrote on here 3 types of friendships. What does that mean? You want to touch on that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think because there's the 3 types of friendships that I came up with that I think are relevant to everyday life and what I think and see and been through. I think there's acquaintances.
Yes.
Those people that
like people you work with.
The people that well, I don't know.
You think people you work with is a step above?
I wouldn't say that because I met a kid at my work that like we talk every day on the phone. We text all the time. We text on the weekend. He's a great guy. Like it's I wouldn't say he's an acquaintance. I would say he's a friend. You
right.
know?
So a step above.
So acquaintance are the people that they're great people. They're people that you see, every now and then when you're out and about or you're on Facebook or something and they comment and say, how you been, congrats on whatever, Those are the people that you're not going to call every day. You're not going to text them every day. So I would say the first thing would probably be 3 types of friendships. I would say acquaintance. Acquaintance. Those are your friends, acquaintance, whatever they are. They're not necessary. They're your friends, but they're not. You're not gonna call them every day. Or you're not gonna text them every day.
You're
or
not gonna
every month.
hang out.
Yeah,
with them.
it's every hey, how you been?
Yeah.
It's one of those people, and those are good people, but they're not like you wouldn't put them in your wedding. The second type of relation or friendship, I think, are your friends. Okay, your friends and you can have multiple best friends too. By the way, if anybody out there thinks you can't, you can. You can. I promise. So your friends are the people that you'll put in your wedding. You'll hang out with them. You'll text them. You'll drink a beer with them. You'll have a glass of wine with them. For a girl's standpoint, sometimes I drink wine, so
you never know. You do like a glass of wine, don't you?
Those are your people that are in, your everyday life. Okay? The third type of friend would be your best friends. Mm-hmm. Your best friends are the people you Snapchat every day. You text. I don't text my best friends every day, but I'll text them every, couple times a week, whatever. But those are your friends that, if you hit the curb tomorrow, they'd drive wherever and come get you.
Yeah.
If you got in a car wreck, they would call you and say, "Hey, what can I do for you?" Those are your people that if you got in a relationship, and you found yourself really happy and you really like this person and you think you want to go further in life with them or maybe one day get married to them and do all that stuff with them and build a life with them, then they would hype you up. These best friends would be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Go do you. We're here for you. Of course, we're going to hang out. Of course, we're going to do this. But your priorities change, I think, when you get into a serious relationship. It's more like I believe it's your partner comes first and then your friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people get a miscommunication and confused about things because they want to put stuff else first or something else first, and it makes your partner like think differently, and it's just I if they're not your friend or your best friend or best friend if they aren't supporting your I get if it's a very toxic relationship, then maybe they can say, hey, like Sydney or Zach or one of my friends or your friends or said, so what said, hey, like I've
I've
things
seen, yeah, are
you
you
don't
okay?
look happy, like you look miserable every day, like are you okay? But you wouldn't jump and say you need to do this, you need to do this, you know
That's
throw
overstepping.
throw this at them and come down, do this, or come up and do this. It's hype them up. That's the whole. When I have some great best friends too. So when I've gotten a relationship, for example, when I got in a relationship with you, my friends are like, man, I'm so happy for you. I saw you're down there, you got a house, you're doing well at your job, things are growing. I see you're happy with Sydney, like everything's, Pippa's 5 years old, Bo's a tard, and
He's
it's
sleeping.
he's a little pooper.
He went to
He's a
the
goober. That's our new word.
goober.
He's a goober.
He went to the doggy park today. He's tired.
But it's just like you have to hype your friends up.
Yeah.
That is all about friend. Like I would never ever go behind my friend's back and talk crap about them and say like to another one of my friends. Like I wouldn't be like, oh dude, sorry Adam, I'm gonna use your name, but Adam, man, that dude, he's a loser. Like I don't know what's wrong with him. Like I would never do that. I'll call him a loser to his face, but
Adam is
just
not a
I know,
loser.
I'm just messing with him, but
I know.
it's just like these people just want to control like lives and lifestyles, and like why can't people let you or me or
Right.
other friends, I'm saying that in general though,
Right.
I'm not saying like my friends are holding me back with cuffs, but why can't people just let each other live their own life, it's
And
like
then kind of like come together when they come together.
so yeah, those are my three. You got the what is it? Acquaintance, friend, best friends.
Yeah.
Those are the three types of friendships.
Speaking of best friends and relationships, do you think it's important for you to be best friends with your partner?
Yeah, I think it actually, makes things better.
I
Because
would say you're my
why
best
would you
friend.
date? Why would you date somebody?
Just
But
to
you
not
wouldn't
hang
be
out with them.
you wouldn't be their friend if
Yeah.
you weren't dating. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
So I'm gonna date them, but I'm not their best friend.
You're my best friend.
You're my best friend.
Oh,
Right,
that's
let's not
sweet.
get sappy on the show.
That was sweet though.
Okay. Well, it's yeah, you got to be a best friend.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's like quarterbacks and the receivers. They got to be best friends.
Or catchers and pitchers.
Yeah, they're in a relationship for 4 years. Quarterbacks
or
or
more.
3 years. Stetson Bennett's case, 6 years.
I know, that's what I'm saying, or more.
So what about boundaries in a friendship? Like, how important are friends to you? Like, what is there friends that you need? Would you say that you need to set boundaries with your friends up front when you like get in a relationship, or do they already know that? And how important are those boundaries, and how important are the friends to you?
I think it depends on like who they are. Like sometimes I feel like you need to set boundaries, and other times like I feel like it's just a not known thing. Like you don't, it's like unspoken. You don't need to talk about that. And then I don't know what else I was gonna say. I think that's pretty much sums it up.
So there's the friends that you have the known boundaries, and then there's the friends that you have to like pull aside and get them on the phone or whatever and tell them face to face, like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is like,
I think
stop,
Yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
Because there can be people that, are like so protective that they feel that they need to step in when it's not super necessary.
Yeah. I agree. That leads me into what do you think the definition of friendship is?
I think someone that's always there, someone that you can laugh, cry, joke, make memories with. I think it's someone that is always going to have your back. That's going to be your dog and dog fight.
It's your dog. So Pippa and Bo, they're not friends. Like I think they're more of
they're acquaintances. Yes,
yeah,
I think Bo is like on the best friend level with Pippa.
Pippa is not.
Pippa is an acquaintance. So, Pippa. I just combined their names. I think Pippa thinks that they are acquaintances, and Bo thinks they're best friends.
And Pippa is, this is my house.
Yeah,
do not
I
step
rule
in. Yeah,
the roost around here.
This is and she's over there looking around like this is.
Well, she heard her name.
This is my place. And when we first got Bo, she was like, this is my house. So
she's top.
I would say somebody's always gonna be there for you. Like obviously you go to if you're dating somebody or what, you'd always go to them first. But like
you're right.
Like friends are just like, like I'm gonna call Adam up or Justin or somebody, and say, hey, should I get this for my truck, or should I put this toolbox here, or should I do that, something like that.
Yeah.
Are the dogs gonna be Ole Miss? I mean, that's not a question.
Yeah, but you text me about that stuff too.
Yeah, I do.
Like you're like, what do you think about this?
Because you need girls' opinion.
Yeah.
That's true.
You're like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
With the truck.
Absolutely. And then, kind of to wrap things up here, tips that I have found. I've lost a lot of friends over the years. I've lost a lot of good friends. Which
not so good
some not so good friends. Bunch of guys who mooched off me and and have basically put their hand in my back pocket and kind of rode the ride until they couldn't no more.
Yeah.
Until it was time to giddy up and put the saddle on their own horse,
And they couldn't do it.
And they couldn't do it, and then just
screwed you over in the end.
Yeah, and then you go saddle back up with the mom and dad horse. It's just
not the Zach Jones horse.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had your own horse.
No, I don't. Want to be a cowboy? Yeah, but so I would say those were never friends then in the beginning. It was just kind of, oh man, this person helps me a lot. I think that's so I'm gonna keep riding this until I can.
I think that's the fourth category of friends.
Yeah.
Fake friends.
Fake friends. Yeah.
I think there's a fourth category.
BSers.
Huh? BSers. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
BSers. That. So you got tips for keeping long-lasting friendships. This goes kind of in relationships as well, honesty and open with each other.
Definitely.
Communication.
That's what I was
that
goes
say. Communication and listening to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be happy for them.
Right.
Don't only celebrate. Don't only be there when good things happen. You got through
thick and thin.
Yeah.
Good times.
Show appreciation. Never
better
talk.
Or worse.
It will come back around.
To bite you in the butt.
Talk bad about your friend. If they're your friend, do not talk about them behind their back.
And relationships too.
Just comes full circle back to you.
Yeah. Relationships as well.
Yeah, and always hype them up. Like I said, always hype them up and be their biggest fan through ups and downs. Yeah. A cheerleader, absolutely.
I would say I'm your cheerleader. Like, you put the toolbox on your truck, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so great.
It was really hard, guys. 4 bolts. But yeah, so No, there's I have some great friends out there. I had some not so great friends. BSers. And
you guys should have just seen how Zach yawned. He goes, yawn, and then he like,
yeah,
I don't know how to explain that without like video.
Yeah, doink.
Goober.
But there's some I've made some good friends. I've lost some good friends, and
I think that's just the phases of life.
And my dad always told me, and my mom, the smaller your circle gets, the better your life gets.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd rather have 2 really awesome friends than 35 BSers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, that's all you need in life. So you get a partner and you best friends with them. There's your one best friend. You have a best friend from high school or college or whatever. There's your another best friend. There's your girl best friend or a guy best friend,
What?
I'm saying, like me and you're my girl best friend, and then I got my guy best friend, And I got quite a few best friends. I do have a lot of good friends. Like I have a lot of good people. And I think it's because of like that South Georgia, from the South Georgia mindset. All those people that are from South Georgia that I met in college and stuff were just great people. They have good families and
good
and
moral
all that.
background.
Yeah, and it's just like, where I grew up was just, met some good people.
Good country folk.
Not where I grew up. Where I grew up was just a bunch of BSers,
A lot of BS.
And I'm not afraid to say that either, but we got some good guys out there. And those best friends know who they are, know who they are. I'll never have to tell them. They know who
Adam, if you're listening, you are his best friend.
Well, I got multiple.
Yeah, but you're his bestest.
I don't think Adam likes me anymore, but I was just saying that on the podcast, but it's whatever. So yeah, I mean, guys, we need to do because most of our listeners, we don't have many right now, but some of our listeners are our age, so got to change our generation. Got to be good people. Got to be friends.
Be better. Do better.
We got to work hard. We got to fiend for our families. We got to do all this stuff. Grind, eat, sleep. It's just grind again, right?
Work hard, party hard.
Yeah, no.
Or play hard.
Yeah, whatever. But that kind of sums it up, and we'll get back to video. We've been super busy. We're trying to do some stuff around the house, get decorations up.
We got our stockings today.
Yeah, we got stockings.
4 of them.
I went and bought some stockings.
You did not buy those stockings. It's actually really cute. It says the stockings were hung, and then there's 5 hooks.
Yeah,
so we have 4.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, our tree is next.
Yeah, our tree's next.
Oh,
so we're basically just doing a bunch of decorations around the house. I'm taking my dog to the dog park now every day.
My dog to the dog park.
My dog. Our dog. Bo. I'm taking Bo to the dog park every day for like 2.5 hours, just running the crap out of him.
Like, very tired right now.
Working like a freaking...
Hey, Bo.
Working like a... what's that saying? Working like a dog. Yeah.
I was going to say hog for some reason.
I'm working like a dog every day, and, it's just...
The grind is real.
Yeah, so...
Nose to the grindstone.
Video is starting next week. We also want to get the sound bites on, like, SoundCloud. Spotify. Not SoundCloud.
Spotify and Apple Podcast app.
Yeah. So, stay tuned. We got some nicer mics coming in, the ones that sit on the table.
Very excited.
So we're gonna get those, and then we're trying to figure out like a good setup, so it's more in tuned with the podcast and so we're not giving up. I don't care if we have 50 followers by the end of the year or 300. We're going to keep going, and we won't give up. And we appreciate everybody's support, the ones who've been there from our first follower to 53 of us, Please like, subscribe, do whatever you can. Send us questions.
Buy a t-shirt.
Guys, we want freaking questions. Please.
Yes.
You can, if you guys are old school and want to send me an AOL or something, yeah, email me.
A MySpace.
Yeah, I got
MySpace message.
I got a Synergy Equipment email and personal email. I got 2 emails. I got 2 phones.
We also have an email
2
for
laptops.
the podcast.
Yeah, so send us. Come on, text us. Slide up on our story.
DM us. Slide into our DMs.
I post a story on my Snapchat all the time. What? Slide up. Say, Zach, ask this question or answer this question on the podcast. We'll do it. We'll do anything you guys want.
Within reason, if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it PG-13 around here.
Yeah.
That wraps it up.
That wraps it, and we're hitting double digits.
Double digits
On our next podcast next week. So stay tuned, and until next time, Keeping Up with the Joneses are out.
Bye, guys.
Hit me like a ton